You know, I hated these at first, but now I kind of like them. Yo guys, Zachary here for a performance review for the Puma Hali 1. So this is Tyrese Halliburton's first signature shoe with Puma. So before we get into things, I'm going to try and say this without sounding as robotic as possible, but I need you guys to do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel as well. So if you want to see me do more videos like this, whether it be this long form content or short form content, I really need your support. So go ahead, do all those three things. And without further ado, let's get straight into this review. Now, when these were first unveiled in the NBA Finals, when Tyrese Halliburton hit the game winner in Game 1, I honestly was not a fan of the design and just the shoe in general, because I know Salihi had a big part in designing these, but in my opinion, I just feel like they didn't give him enough creative freedom with this design. The only thing like Salihi about this shoe is really just the midsole design. Everything else is pretty standard, honestly. I mean, I guess the way that he implemented the Puma logo is pretty cool. I mean, I haven't seen a Puma shoe do that in the past before, and it's the full cat aside from like the regular like little line they normally do, so I will give them credit for that. But you know, after some time with the shoe, it did kind of grow on me, but all in all, I'm really not feeling this design too much. But I am a little confused, however, because this colorway right here, the opal colorway, was the debut one, whereas I feel like the hibiscus, I believe that's what it's called, whatever the one that he wore in the NBA Finals, that one is the one they should have debuted first, in my opinion at least. So I'm really looking forward to that pair, because I know I said I didn't really like the design and whatnot, but I actually do like that colorway better than this one right here. So in case any of you guys were wondering, this is the box that the shoes come with right here. It's pretty basic, nothing crazy. It's just an all pink pastel box with the Halliburton logo on the lid. You know, got a Puma logo there, and it says Hali on the side right there. Nothing crazy, honestly, but I don't know the meaning behind why it is an all pink box, because when you see this, it's kind of misleading. You think you're gonna get that hibiscus colorway, but you're really just getting the opal colorway. So I don't know if all the colorways are going to be getting the all pink box, but if someone wants to let me know what the meaning behind the pink box is, let me know. As for retail price, these are going to cost $130 US or $170 Canadian, so about mid-tier pricing for our friends over in the US, but here in Canada, closer to $200 is a bit much, but it's not too bad considering the performance of the shoes. Now, getting into the performance of the shoes, let's start with the materials here. So being that this was a Salihi designed shoe, I was expecting like better quality materials, like, you know, maybe some leather, some suedes and whatnot, but it's just a screen mesh and overlays of TPU for added durability in high wear areas. A little disappointed on that end, but don't get me wrong, it still gets the job done. I mean, there wasn't much break-in time when it comes to this stuff. It was pretty comfortable for the most part, durable for sure, being that you do have those TPU overlays. There is a tiny bit of like synthetic suede on the toe, but I would have wished there was more of that, because come on, man, we know what Salihi has done in the past. You could have done a little bit more when it comes to the materials here, given a more premium shoe, if you feel me here. But all in all, I will say that breathability is pretty good. I didn't really have any problems on that end. And, you know, no discomfort, no parts of the shoe that were pinching me. So materials, good to go in my books. Now, when it comes to the lockdown and support of the shoes, starting with the lockdown, and I really had no problems at all. These things do a great job of securing your foot into place, really just hugs your foot and holds it down to the footbed. And then the overall containment you get from the shoes are great too. I had no problems with heel slippage. I didn't have any problems when it comes to the lateral side to side containment. You know, the materials do a good job of containing your foot. And not only that, you do stay within the midsole, so that midsole does act as a wall for your foot for those side to side movements. So you're good on that end. And when it comes to the overall support of the shoes, you know, you're really getting this huge shank plate in the middle of the shoe right here. Like, this is excessive, honestly, but in a good way. Like, you're gonna want something like this in your shoes. You're getting good torsional support from this. You know, it gives the shoes good stability. You're also getting some good spring back from it because it has this X shape, as you can see right here. So that kind of acts as a diving board for your foot almost. So when you load into this, it's gonna give you a spring back feeling, which it definitely does, especially when you are jumping up and down and whatnot or pushing off. You really do feel that. So support is another strong feature of these shoes. Had no problems doing any types of move when I was on court, and I could just go out there, play my game, and have no issues at all. Moving along to the fit and sizing of these guys, and I found them to be pretty standard, honestly. So not too wide, not too narrow. So I'd recommend going true to size. That's what I did. I really didn't have any problems whatsoever. So even if you are a wide footer, I'd probably recommend going true to size also, but keep in mind, I'm not a wide footer, so don't take my word for gold. Obviously, go try them on in store first if you can, but if you can't try them on in store, you don't have the option to, going true to size should be a safe bet, honestly. Now, getting into the cushion setup, and what we have is Puma's Nitro Foam. It does go full length within the shoes. If you aren't familiar with Nitro Foam, it's a nitrogen infused type of foam that Puma uses on a lot of their different products. They used it on the Puma All Pro Nitro 2. I did a review for that, so check that out up here if you want to see more videos that I do. But how this feels on foot, so I'm gonna go off of what Tommy Lou said in his review for the Hali ones. So Tyrese Halliburton, he was rocking a lot of Kobe's and whatnot when he was with Nike. Kobe's are typically lower to the ground. These guys, on the other hand, are not. They do sit a little bit higher off the ground, which is a bit of a shocker because, you know, you would think that Tyrese Halliburton likes that close to the ground feeling, but, you know, I guess not, because the signature shoe is not like that. But I didn't mind it, honestly. Unlike the Jordan 40, which I did do a review for, link will be up here if you want to check that out. It is higher up off the ground, but I still feel connected to the floor. I'm still getting good stability out of it. And all in all, when you get out of this cushion setup is a responsive, bouncy ride in the forefoot, and that bounce is also attributed to that shank plate within the shoes, but it's also nice and plush and soft in the heel. So I really did enjoy this setup on court, and I feel like this doesn't make it just specific for guards. Like, I feel like this makes it more versatile for other types of players and play styles. But one problem I did have with the cushion setup, or I don't really know if this actually counts as part of the cushion setup, but the midsole of the shoes isn't the most durable. I mean, I do see some wear and tear damage from my time in the shoes on the midsole, specifically on this pair right here. So if you were to take these outdoors, I don't know if it's gonna handle that beating that the outdoor world gives to the shoes. So just keep that in mind. And finally, when it comes to the traction setup, what we have here is a full length herringbone setup. You can't go wrong with herringbone. It is tried and true, and it is great. Usually, most of the time, it's really hard to screw up a full-length herringbone setup, but we do have translucent rubber on the outsole as well. And if you are familiar with Puma, you would know that typically their translucent outsoles are pretty damn good, and that just happens to be the case with the Puma Hali ones right here. Although it does pick up a lot of dust, I'm not gonna lie, it does get pretty clogged up within the grooves of the shoes. It still bites through the dust pretty damn well, honestly. So whether I was playing on a clean court, which I had no problems at all, or a dusty court, I didn't find myself wiping all too much, and I was getting consistent hard stops almost every single time. I really noticed the shoes sort of slipping up on those really dusty floors, but let's be real here. On those types of floors, I don't think many shoes would actually survive that condition of the court. But all in all, traction was simply just amazing, so easily one of the stronger features of the shoe. But overall, Puma and Tyrese Halliburton are off to a really good start with this first shoe right here. These could very well be one of Puma's best shoes, if not their best shoe on the market right now. So if you guys can get over the fact that he got injured in these and get over the fact of any other stigmas against Puma. I think you will really enjoy these if you just give them a chance. So comment down below and let me know what you think about these shoes. If you have any questions, any concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you have a different experience with them, or you just want to share your experience in general with these on feet, then let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you. But we're at that point in the video now. It's time for hashtag Zakuragi, what you rockin'. And for today, I got the Jordan Luka 4. So I did do a short form performance review for these, link will be up here, and we'll be doing a long form detailed performance review like this one right here. So I'll make sure to link that up here once that's out, so make sure you guys go check that out. But that is it for today. I appreciate you all for watching. I'm signing out. Peace.